Hello, everybody, and well, oh, sorry. Oh, listen, I'm just saying, I had to cut that off because I mean, what you guys are
You knew
talking
where that
about
was
would
going.
get us banned from Twitch. Just saying. My apologies. So, did we decide our approach?
I don't think we did at all.
I actually don't think we did. Stealthing is probably not a good idea because, oh, well, do we have another one of those beads, the silence?
Yeah, we
Um,
have three.
no,
And
no,
we
no. You
squish
use two, so you have
two?
yeah.
Yeah, we have one left.
I mean,
You can do it now, or because, like I said, I think you guys are looking for that exterior approach. You can do it when you're actually in the building, sort of a thing.
uh, let's look for the exterior approach then. I think, yeah, use that when we're in the building.
I mean, we could just walk straight through if you want.
Uh, let's not walk through the front door. I think I think the best approach would be to not look like we're trying to sneak around so we can talk our way out of it, but also not to be obvious about it. And just go walk through the front door. So let's go through the around the side and investigate the outer thing.
I'll follow your lead.
So why don't we
Act like we know what we're doing.
Why don't we actually
Because
do this
otherwise,
let's actually get you guys pulled over here then.
do you guys have stuff like this happen with chords, where they just decide that they're gonna go at weird right angles for no reason, and I can't get them to not do that?
I mean, wires are always doing funky shit. So just to give chat an ability to watch what it is that we're talking about. So obviously we know that we're in this area here where we fought inside the inside here, and this is where we had spoken to the devils before, right? What we're actually doing is staying outside this area and going to go for the door over this way. Now, are we going to make stealth checks to get ourselves over here to hope you don't get heard, noticed, whatever it is, as you slink along this wall? Or are you going to just kind of like hope for the best?
I'll walk in the open. I'm not going to be sneaking around.
Okay, cool.
I think it's best if we just act like we know what we're doing, like we're just making sure that all the creatures are gone.
Then just in case it matters, why don't you roll me a bluff check? Now, I'm going to allow one person to act as lead on this bluff check and everybody else to kind of follow suit. I would usually allow whoever was going to speak, if it matters, I would usually allow Rayron to do it, but because Neil's not here, it has to fall to one of you guys.
Okay, I have a +3 to bluff.
I have +7. So.
Oh, wow. Okay, cool. And your party's going to give you a +1 each. Cool. +1 each.
Yeah, you bluff. I'm following your lead because we're finding another monster, just in case.
So you want me to roll bluff? Is that what you want me to do?
Yeah, just exactly that.
Okay.
It rolled over that one and it scared me.
Yeah, it was. But they give you that +2. Don't forget. So that's actually a 20, which is a really good roll. So you guys are just kind of like slinking your way across, getting yourself over to this area. Now, just to kind of like finish like drawing out like a map in the mind of where it was that you had come through and everything. Sorry. As you guys are coming up here. Now, this is one of my the unfortunate things about Roll20 is they don't have things like where when you get to a ledge, it gets rid of the site. That's why I've contemplated going over to Battlegrounds. And I might eventually go over to Battlegrounds instead of Roll20 because they have the ability to make it so that when you go up a hill, the hill is now no longer a factor. But, bam. So,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. So you can see, like, out in this area. Never mind these corpses. This was from prior combats. But this is, like, the area that you were in before approaching the actual front door, right? So, anyways, where you guys are going to go is actually into that building.
Down here is where I shit myself when I summoned the demon.
All right. Where am I? This one? And we're going to grab you guys and bring you into that building and stuff. Now, to actually walk into that door, to actually open that door and walk in, are you literally using the scroll, sorry, the bead now? Before you, like, open the door? Or are you waiting with the bead?
I think now, because it lasts a minute.
It does last for 1 minute, correct?
Yeah.
Unless Valorant just kind of pops it, I would just open the door.
I see him going for it. I'm popping it.
Okay. Awesome. So you just kind of grab the thing, and he's going for the door. So you literally just kind of grab the bead very quickly and just like, what do you use for a weapon? Oh, you're with your staff. You just kind of take the bead, you quickly drop it on the ground as he's grabbing the thing with the staff, and flip the staff around so you're holding silence on a stick. And as you guys open the door, you guys go in. Stupid. Roll 20. There are little random pop outs. You go walking into an entirely different area.
Where are we? I'm trying to find where we are on the map.
I pulled you over, right?
I just see darkness.
I should have pulled you over to here.
You probably have. I just don't know where on the map it is.
I'm there.
Okay.
There we go. I found it.
Okay.
In the upper left. Okay.
Yeah.
It was a case of like, I had this giant black mass of nothing and you were in the top little corner. So I was just looking around trying to find where we ended up.
Yeah, I was going to say, if I shift click, it's supposed to pull you. It just doesn't always work. You know what I mean?
It pulled, just not my vision.
Yeah. It's supposed to. I don't know why they didn't pull you. Stupid thing. I'm mad. I want my money back. Just kidding. So
that was a bright flash.
The immediate area that you're in is just kind of a small room. Now, an important thing to note about this room is it looks like somebody was sleeping in it. However, whoever it was, looks like they haven't used it in probably a couple days. Probably because they died a couple days ago when you guys did one of your 2 assaults. So this room is otherwise, like the bedding and whatnot is pretty simplistic, stuff kind of thrown together, as you imagine most of this place is. But overall, it's not even really something worth talking about. What you really want is the door that's across the way, which of course we're going to open up and your characters are going to go walking through. So, yay, go walking up through the doorway.
I'm scared.
Oh, hold on. Through the doorway.
I'll have a quick look around the room.
Careful. Be very careful.
So 2 things. One, that quick look around the room that you're referring to is actually, there's really nothing in there. And I mean, like, press shift.
Yeah. You want me to do it?
Yeah.
Press shift.
Okay.
Just imagine-
Like, you want me to press the spell? And put
I
in
do
chat?
because I actually want to spell something out. So 1 10-foot cube is the area of this, and it's up to 30 feet away that you can do that. I think it's really important to note because we always talk about what you can do at Sift, but just to be clear, like you see this right here, how I pinged, that ping itself is bigger than what Sift actually covers. Because what Sift actually covers, that people know, you people out there, Sift actually covers, I think it's Q, literally 1 10-foot square. That's all it covers. So it'd be, theoretically, if you were searching this room right here and you wanted to do it quickly, it would take 4 sifts to search this room. Those, obviously usually tax you like that. I usually just say, 1 covers the fact that you did, you cast it 10 times or whatever. Now, can you hit that perception check for me?
Just goes to each bed. Next.
You find nothing in that room, Jake.
Oh my god.
Please.
So 2 things happen. 2 things to note. When you come out into this hallway out here, you notice. Oh, Valerie, we can get rid of your little wings.
My wings. We probably still technically have spider climb on.
Oh, you probably, but you're not up in the air anymore, right? So,
Yeah.
2 things to note. When you come out into the hallway, you do see a door to your left and a door immediately across the hall in front of you. But you also see this balcony thing to the right. Now, you roll me perception checks as you walk out into the hallway. And I can have all 3 of you roll it. Yes, that includes you too, Neil. You can have some sort of value here sometimes.
Oh.
1 you can roll as well. Sexy. So, it's Rayrin looks over. So with your 10, you notice that there's obviously a balcony here that kind of lowers down to below, but you don't really notice anything. Rayrin notices something. You know what I mean? It's not like he can speak or say anything. He notices something down in that area, but doesn't really it's not really something of import. Just like, there's that area looks kind of like familiar or whatever. But it's specifically one that notices that area down there is very, very, very much the area where you had opened the front door and had seen the devils before. More importantly, you can even see them kind of like moving about. They're moving. They're not looking at anything or through anything. They're almost like staring off, not at each other, but off into the distance. Almost like they're looking in their own mind for something, if you had to guess. It's just like they're kind of like just staring at nothing. But it seems like they're staring at something. Almost like Blair Witch Project, face to the corner style staring. You know,
Oh dear.
it's like one of those, what are they doing? it's a little frightening, but it doesn't really matter because they're not affecting you at the moment. But it does give you that warning. We're making no noise. They can't hear us. No, they cannot hear us. There's spells protecting us. That doesn't mean they won't accidentally see us. Roll me, please, your stealth checks.
Oh, god damn it.
Your buffs are still applied for, like, stat buffs.
I took them off.
So just a 2 higher than whatever you roll.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna roll luck with that.
Did I roll stealth for it? Why is Ray say only a +2? Oh, because he wears armor. No, because of his backpack, I think.
Every time.
Yeah, so
I
Ray's
have
actually
not
too high.
rolled above a 1 on luck.
Sorry, buddy. But you get your 14. Rayron gets us an 18, and you get a 21 there. They don't seem to notice you guys. You're making
23.
You're making 23. Oh, good. You're making no noise. It's impossible to make noise right now. But you're also kind of like, oh shit, and you like crouching down and just staying out of the way enough that you're allowed to use like the angle of the balcony and stuff like that well enough that they can't see you. Where do you guys choose to go first? Across the way or to the left? Please.
Can I remember if on this outside of the building there was a balcony?
There was no balcony to your recollection.
But there was room enough for a room. Like it extended.
Correct. You actually specifically remember it having like a bulbous feature to it.
Yeah, I think that might be where we go.
Okay. So we're going to go that direction. And you guys go walking in that way. Now, when you walk into this room, let me do it from this side. When you're walking into this room, you very quickly realize this was definitely, probably because the leader guy, the one that died downstairs, this was very likely his room. Because, oh god, the quality of stuff inside of here. Literally, what you're seeing in front of you is actually there. Like, there literally is a carpet rolled out onto the ground. There's literally a table set up in there. There's literally a bed that has been brought into here. The parent that happened to be in this area, that happened to have this room, literally set up his room to be a very comfortable room for himself. Whereas beforehand, you were seeing, like, beds, mats, whatever, on the ground. Right? And the other one that you had walked through. One of the other things that you notice inside this room is the shit everywhere. And there is a lot of stuff inside of this room. Most importantly, you literally go over and like there's one particular crate where the crate itself is like sealed shut. You're not too worried because you can make no sounds. So you can easily go over to like the crate and like rip it open with a crowbar or whatever if you want to. But you can just see stuff all over the place. So you can see that he has stuff of value all over. You imagine the most value being kind of like stored. I imagine in here you immediately want to start making your perception checks. The quick question is, do you want to spend time doing your perception checks? Or do you want to just sift?
I mean, how long has it been on the silence thing?
Since you guys took it before you opened up the door, so let's say 1 round, walking through there was 2 rounds, plus a sift is 3, coming out here 4. Let's say it's been 5 rounds. You have 30 seconds left because you're moving quickly. Because literally that other room you kind of went through, you did a quick little sift and then walked out.
This is not the room we're looking for. Up to you, one.
I'm gonna look.
Okay, he's gonna look. I'm doing a quick look. He's doing a sift.
Okay.
I don't have to sift. I can just like kind of check the room as thoroughly as I can, because otherwise I would have to sift so much.
Actually, you know what I'm doing?
Well, you can kind of go to the areas where it's like I don't have time to glance, so I can just sift. Ooh. He casts detect magic, which requires a verbal component, which you can't do as long as you're standing with your stick.
How big is the range of silence?
Well, more or less, you hand somebody else your stick and they walk across the room. I think it's 10-foot radius.
I would leave it by the door and I would walk across the room.
Leaving it by the door is brilliant because it allows the sound to have to try to penetrate through stone versus the door itself. I like it. So I imagine your character effectively leaves that sitting like right here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I love it. It's sexy. That's like literally a brilliant plan. I'm just going to quickly draw a stick. Let's see, give me brown. This looks brown enough. We're going to draw a stick right here. Yay, we got a stick. Looks kind of like a turd.
I think it's on the wrong side of the wall, but it doesn't matter.
Either way, because it's taking up the area, right? So you cast detect magic, and are you gonna cast sift so you can get like a good search, a quick search? Sorry.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay. So you don't have to. I was asking.
Well, I want to give it a look over in the room because there's heaps of stuff already on display. So I want to look at what's there first, and then I would have a few looks at places I would think, there might be something hidden here.
Sure.
This is where
there. Sift, like something like that. Yeah.
Perfect. So what you can see is as you go over to look at the stuff that's on display, you can actually see that the stuff that's on display for the most part is not my apologies. Looking at the items that are on display, they're clearly items of value. So we're talking like there's literally a little jade carving of a tiger. You can see that there's a shelf that has literally a bowl. Like you imagine you go to grandma's house with a bowl of M&Ms sort of a thing, or a bowl of Skittles if she's a trendy grandma. Instead, it's literally a bowl of small gems, roughly cut gems of varying clarity and color and whatnot. But there's literally a bowl of gems that are sitting there, and there's things like that are on display. One of probably the nicest things that you've seen, because it looks similar to one that you had seen beforehand, not the same but similar, is there's literally a large knife. Like you call that a knife? No, that's a knife. You see there's a beautiful knife that's on display. Sorry, that's on display there that has its own ornate sheath to it, and sitting there, the blade's of course half revealed. So it's literally his trinkets, items of value shelf. One of the funkiest things that happened to sit there is there's a skull that's sitting on top of this almost like a knick-knack, multi-shelf small bookcase. The whole shelf itself only comes up to maybe waist height. But at the top of the bookcase, there's literally a skull that sits there. You're not sure what kind of skull it is, Jake. Roll me a nature check, please. But there's literally a skull that sits there, and on the top of the skull, there's a bit of a melted wax that sits on top of the skull, and it comes up, the melted area is kind of holds this candle to the top of the skull, and in the center of that candle is, of course, a wick. Definitely green blood origin, definitely some sort of goblinkin. You're not sure what kind of goblin it is, but it does look smaller, so maybe a goblin itself. Either way, there is a small wick at the top of the candle, but the skull is otherwise just kind of sitting there.
Okay.
But there's other ththings of value. Now you, sir, you cast Detect Magic, and what you see is very quickly, you look around, you detect the presence of magic. You detect it's because it takes 3 rounds to detect magic to take full effect. So 3 rounds later, so that's 3 more rounds burned. You immediately are able to kind of look around, and you can see one on that entire shelf. The only thing that's magical is the skull itself, which is what the fuck is that? Because it's transmutation and evocation is what that skull is made out of for schools. I just told you that for free. Whoops. You're supposed to roll spellcraft checks, but that's fine. But then also,
I should see I would be able to see what type of magic it was by default with Detect Magic, right?
No. You have to actually you see auras.
Oh, I can make. Yeah, you're right. I can make Arcana checks.
But that's fine. That's fine. And then you also see inside one of the crates that are sealed, definitely 2 transmutate. Definitely two strong auras. Sitting inside
the same color as the skull.
Yeah, same color as one of the 2 colors of the skull. Sitting inside one of the crates. Definitely 2 strong auras, no question.
I would immediately, while the knowing that the spell or silence is running out, I would open that quickly and see whatever it is and grab those things.
How would you open it? You talking smash it with your thing? You talking go over the crowbar? How are you going to open it?
If it's locked, is it?
They're
locked?
not locked. The crates, but they're just
it's a crate.
Yeah. They were transported here recently.
I would here.
Just hit it with the axe.
So just go over.
Fucking okay. I would move I see him swinging. I would move the stick there.
He wouldn't go for some massive swing, but there's the corner, and he'd probably just be and just kind of hit.
Okay. I would still move the stick just there in case
Roll me a strength check, please, sir. Ooh. Plus, you still have bull strength active, so it's an additional +2. So that's a 19. Do you want to apply anything to that 19? Because breaking a crate isn't exactly the easiest thing in the world. Also, I need to, yeah. What are you thinking? You want to add anything onto that? And I'm looking at breaking crate.
He would still have the +2, wouldn't he?
Yes, that's a 19.
Oh, +2 from what, sir?
The luck thing, and then there was some.
Bull strength is applied, and I gave him that +2
okay.
to a 19. Yeah. So do you want to break it? Do you want to go above the 19? Or no?
I think it's a crate.
Correct.
Yeah. Probably not. I mean, I'm not trying to just like destroy the whole crate anyway. I'm just like hitting with an axe. So.
DC 17. It says a simple chest. So you hit it, you break it easy enough that you can get like a hand in there and just grab and like rip open the top. Like I said, it's just nailed shut, kind of like a coffin would be, right? Final nail in the coffin. And so you rip it open, and what you see inside, Jake, is literally just 2 backpacks.
But put them on.
So put one on, give the other one to Vara.
The 2 backpacks look very, very similar to one another. They don't have like any markings or anything like that. They literally look like fairly simple backpacks. It has like a big open top. It also has 2 little side pouches to it, or whatever it is. So it's like a backpack side pouch here, backpack side pouch here, like a big open one in the top. But they just look like backpacks.
When I open it, what's inside?
You open the backpack and you look inside and you see nothing. The backpack weighs about 5 pounds.
I drop. I like one of the bits of wood that's fragmented nearby. I just drop it in.
It falls in.
It's just in there normally.
It's just gone.
Oh, it's gone. Like it's not in. I don't see it.
Correct.
This could be very useful.
Yeah, I've just put one of them on, so I now have a backpack on. I might actually walk over to where that bowl of gems was and just tip it in.
Take it. You just tip in the bowl of gems. Awesome. They just fall in.
Knock as much stuff of as the silence comes to an end before it comes to an end. Just knock as much into the bag as I can, and then just okay.
So you guys are knocking the stuff from the shelf into the bag. Awesome.
I assume that's where the bowl of gems was, and like
yeah. So he grabs the bowl of gems, and you knock everything else in.
Yeah.
I assume including the skull, right?
I wouldn't have put I put the skull in my other bag already, because that was the first thing I was like, oh yes, pick it up and take it.
Oh, so you actually already grabbed, because we didn't specifically say that you grabbed the skull beforehand.
Sorry.
So.
I made the motion. I guess you might not have seen
I may have not have looked. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, immediately, like the second I knew it was magical, I grabbed it.
So earlier, when you had grabbed that skull, as soon as you had grabbed the skull, grabbed it by the eyes, the nose, whatever, like a bowling ball.
Yeah.
So as soon as you grabbed that skull, immediately, the candle came to light.
Trying to put it out.
You try to put it. It's like one of those, because you obviously had very limited time because that was the past, right?
Yeah.
So you kind of hold the skull and you're like, tss, goes out, comes to light again.
If I put it in my bag, does it go out?
You put it into your bag, so you let go of the thing. It goes out. Like you can see as you put it into your bag before you kind of throw the bag back on really quickly because you were doing other things. You see that as you put it down, the light goes out. Like you can see the flame goes out, but you just kind of get this eerie feeling. But that's fine.
Okay, we'll have to deal with that later. All of this is deal with it later stuff.
Okay. And then as you're kind of knocking stuff in, you grab the last thing, which is like the dagger. You literally find knock. You grab the dagger and literally go shink, and you hear the dagger go into the sheath, and you're like,
carefully
put it into that backpack.
Okay.
Mind you, Rayrin the whole while wasn't not doing anything. Obviously, he was doing stuff as well. So to cover what Rayrin was doing while you guys were doing all that fun stuff, I'll say he was in the other side of the room, and he was making his own perception check at the things that were away from the crates and the shelf that you guys were looking at. If he rolls poorly, then he was being useless. If he rolls well, then we'll see. Ooh.
Ooh.
So he actually also finds some other stuff of interest over there. He literally finds, so he goes over there, and of course everybody reads Perrin. So he goes over there, and over nearby the bed, he finds a small stack of like books and whatnot, similar to like kind of what you guys did in the keep beforehand. But this stuff is written in Perrin, and they seem to be like ledgers and a diary. Like ledgers and like almost like a captain's, not like a diary, like, dear diary, so Jake talked to me today, and oh my god. But more or less like of like his travel and whatever it was he was going on. He sees these things of interest, and kind of like one of those at one point in time, like hold up the books, gesturing towards you guys, like, should we take these? And so he takes them, he puts them, because it was before he had found the backpacks, throws them into his own backpack, and throws that over his shoulder, and then goes to leave. There is actually one more thing of importance that you guys happen to notice over in that direction. You notice that there is something of magical value on the bed as well. And so it's kind of like, again, because across the way you guys are silently communicating, he literally at one point in time will kind of like grab up something from the bed, you shake your head, and you go back to what you're looking at and what you're reaching for, and then, you grabs up something else from the bed, and you look over and you nod, and you see he's literally holding a pillow that's glowing with enchant. I've done this too many times. That's glowing with more magical aura, and so you nod, and he takes the pillow and he kind of like tries to fold it and put it in his backpack, but instead it ends up being this tuck the pillow under the arm to walk around like he's at some slumber party. And now you guys can go to do what? Where do we go?
Now we have to go to that other room, but we have to be a lot more careful about it.
Maybe we should send Rayron back the way we came, and we'll meet him with Elliot. He can take the stuff back.
That's not a bad idea.
So you give Rayron the 2 backpacks?
Yeah, and all the stuff. I would actually I would give him my pack with the skull in it as well.
Okay, so you give him your backpack plus the other 2 backpacks. So he's got, because his was left outside. I don't know if you remember, but when you guys came in the waterway, he left his outside before. So you're giving him the 2 5-pound backpacks and the one like heavier one. And so it's important thing to note, when you poured all that stuff into that backpack, its weight never changed. But anyway, so you guys give him the 3 backpacks and kind of like, are you gonna go that way? Me, are you sure? You don't need me to. And he pulls out like the sword. You don't need me to. Stay with the sword. Puts the sword away and we'll go to leave. And so
the idea is like, oh, he's already left. We're just double checking that like everything with the curse here is gone, and then we'll be on our way.
He did have penalties to his stealth check. He didn't have penalties to the stealth check before from being medium weight. He definitely does now, because now he's actually like carrying a bunch of crap, right? So so he applies that. We're gonna have him make his stealth check to leave. And his stealth checks, his bonus to dexterity is about to reduce, just like you guys, Jake, all your shit. So he actually gets a 12 on that check.
I believe we want to luck that one.
Oh, sure.
He's the one we need to make sure gets out, because he's got all the magic shit on him.
Jake, he gets a roll at this time.
So yeah, it'll be something more than a 1 for once, because he just let him roll them from now on. Why is he going that way?
Just kidding. So look at that, nice sexy 4. So that's actually a nice 16, which I think is what he got last time, or close to. And so he's going to go out this way, and he's going to leave. Cool. Awesome. So now it's you guys' turns.
He can go out the main gate this time rather than trying to swim.
Correct. So it's you guys' turns to do what you need to do.
Well, here comes the fun part. Where's stealth? Why am I not? Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, you're kidding me. It went to 1, rolled to a bunch of other things, then rolled back to 1.
Well, I wasn't going, like, as far as 1 is, like, he was being quiet, but I wasn't like sneaking around. So I was going to apply penalties to my own roll anyway.
Even with a 1, I'm not walking all the way down there. No, stop it. I'm trying to take my token back.
So
I
where were
can't. I actually can't drag my token.
where were you going, one?
Following Valorant.
Okay. And Valorant is walking along with a stick. And it's one of those things where when he goes up to the other door, and it's one of those, like, as he, like, sneaks quietly up to the other door with you, he goes, and it's one of those, he turns back to you, like almost, like, reminding, like people do all the time, like, you know what I mean? And as he turns back to do that, he, like, accidentally, like, hits the stick against the door, like, all right. And then hits the stick against the door, and he's like, oh, and it's one of those very Valorant moments where he's, makes a lot of noise.
Yes, stupid Valorant at it again.
Immediately when that happens, stupid.
Don't worry, Valorant, you can hit him with your stick. You'll be right.
I'm glad we sent Rayron away with the magic items.
Immediately when that happens, one of the devils quickly walks over and just kind of like, so it takes like 2 steps in your direction, and then just steps through a little portal thing, and just like appears in front of you guys, because for them it's super easy for them to just kind of like teleport. So it's one of those like quick little, and they just appear in front of you.
Oh, that's impressive. Can I learn how to? Never mind. And we're just making sure that the curse is fully gone from this.
One holds up his hand, and he just said like that for Valorant to stop talking. And he just looks at the devil, and he's like, "We're after a room. We need to search the upper levels."
Why?
Because there's one room in every one of these keeps, and this guy here communes with some type of ghost who appears in all of them. He's key to helping us actually break the curse. So
You had said you need the sword to break the curse.
yeah, we need the sword to break the curse. However, we need information like on what to do, and this guy provides us with insight on what we have to do.
Roll me
Accompany us if you want.
Roll me a diplomacy check. However, you're using good logic, so the DC is going to be much lower than it otherwise could have been.
Okay. Can I go? I can't really guidance myself in this situation. So,
No, yeah, no.
Mid conversation.
yeah.
Vrogar bluffing.
By Vrogar's
yeah.
will.
Oh, that's not too bad.
You have a
Could be
really,
worse.
really good diplomacy modifier, but you rolled
Yeah.
14.
but you rolled like
Would
garbage.
would
Unfortunately,
that be a 15 because of the +1 still?
what +1 still?
Didn't we have the +1 from the Neil luck thing?
No, that was for combat.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Fair enough.
And so he said, so it's looking at you, and looks at the door, and then nods towards the door.
Which door?
The one that
The-
you're
the-
literally standing directly in front of.
Oh yeah, I'd open the door.
Okay. 1 moment. So you guys go to grab the door and you open it. And when you grab the door and open it, you can literally see, much like the rooms beforehand, this is a room that has a lot of storage inside of it. Clearly, somebody was staying inside this room. You can move one of your tokens up. There you go.
No, this
clearly,
is not
somebody
the
was.
room.
Clearly, somebody was staying inside this room. It was probably the person that was in charge of keeping track of like rations or rationing out food or whatever it is. Because it's literally where food stores is, where some wine and beer and whatnot is stored from. The room's actually kind of like overfilled. It's one of those you walk in and there's enough space to make your way over to the bed if you wanted to sleep inside the bed, but otherwise it's filled with crates and bottles and shelves and so on and so forth. All the supplies that you would need to maintain a large group of soldiers that were coming in as almost like an invading force, or whatever the hell they were doing that you guys never figured out. You don't believe that this is the room you're looking for. It doesn't have any of the other details of what you were looking for before.
It's not this room. The room we're looking for has a round map in the middle of it, usually.
Well, let's keep looking then.
It watches you, narrow-eyed, doesn't say anything as you two of you can start making your way to where? Is it downstairs?
Yeah, I just start, systematically checking everything we come across.
Yeah, at this point, we're not like stealthing. We're just like checking all the rooms, not looking at. We're not going through the stuff in the rooms. We're just looking to find the room that we need and get the fuck out.
Yep, right there. Okay, so you guys coming down the stairs. Let me just shift pull over here. Bam.
Oh, yep. There we go. Thank you.
Okay. And so of course the other devil is over in the area and now watching you guys as well. And it's this very, very, very uncomfortable feeling as you have these two creatures. One of them easily strong enough to destroy all of you without much effort. And here they are watching the two of you as you're making your way towards these doors and trying to figure out what's going on, and et cetera, et cetera. You go into this room here and start trying to look about. Jake, I imagine you also make your way into your own little room and start trying to look about there as well.
Yep.
And the two of you are trying to find out like what's happening between these rooms. One of them looks to be like it's the kitchen, and so there's some more supplies down here, food and whatnot, some stuff rotting, whatever it is, for where it was that they had cooked their food. You have a cute little stove. You have a little eating area. Eating area would have been out here, as well as inside here. Oh, I'm sorry, you can't even see my pings. Out here, as well as of course inside here with where the stove and everything is. Over in this area was once again more beds because of how many people there were. More people would have spent the night here. As you guys are both kind of like exploring about, why don't you do me a favor? You can roll, please.
Okay, yep.
Please.
No. I would because what I would say is once we exit the thing back into the room with the devil. So, what are we rolling in the rooms?
Please just roll me a flat intelligence check.
Darren is terrified.
Okay. So
one is much better under pressure than Valorant is.
this is where the skill, architecture, and engineering really, really, really comes into play. Now, one happens to be an extremely perceptive person. I mean, he crushes 25s left and right at level 2. You know what I mean? He's a very perceptive person. He's also kind of keen, especially for a half-orc, if you know what I'm saying. But he's actually kind of keen as well. And walking around the room, he searches the first area. He walks in the rooms upstairs. Walks in this room over here. Makes his way around. Comes out this direction as well. But something kind of stands out to him. It's like one of those when he's back out here. It's like you guys are thinking of leaving the rooms. We have to go searching somewhere else. It's probably in one of the other buildings. Then kind of something catches his eye. Comes back walking through again. And realizes something doesn't quite line up.
Oh.
Realizes there's a bit of space here that seems to be not fully, represented. Walking over, you can use your sift because that is a 10-foot area.
-5. I'm getting guidance myself, so -4.
Okay.
Ooh.
Awesome. And I imagine what's his face give you a bonus as well, because he's assisting you. So you said -4, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, -4. So that's actually just a 20 because he's assisting you over there, which a 20 is pretty good. So that being said, you guys can kind of like look about or whatever, and you see. I'm just gonna remove this chunk and hope I don't regret it. There we go. Let's remove that whole chunk. There is actually a secret door leading to a stairwell over on this side. A little secret door right here. And paint you a cute little... Sorry. Bam. Perfect. So you notice a secret door that's right there. It's not working? Why aren't you working? I want you to make me something. There we go.
Baron probably would do the whole overexcited. Aha! I'll write the situation. Just like, yes. Oh wait. Hey.
There you go. Secret door. Yay! Sorry. So you guys can go over and you more or less find with your sift and everything, you find the fact that there is a stairwell down there because you can kind of like feel through the wall, and then you just go over and just like feeling around and catch the latch and you move it and the door opens up.
This is probably it, I imagine. Shall we?
I think you shall.
After you.
Oh. Sorry.
Thanks.
Let me get your character slightly moved to the side so that grabs.
This is your thing. This is your mate.
I know. It was just really funny. It's like, go ahead. Cool. Traps be damned.
I didn't even think of traps. I mean, you can express that if you'd like.
No. Valorant is too terrified right now.
There we go.
Well, this is not what we were looking for.
So you guys come down the stairwell, and it ends up leading all the way down to a strange little, almost like a harbor with two small boats attached to it. Now, an important thing to note about these small boats is that these aren't new boats like the one that you had seen pulled in before. These boats are very, very old. Like, we're talking, it's more or less just floating driftwood. They would be completely destroyed, like petrified wood, because of how long they've been sitting here. If these boats had been sitting in water exposed to the elements outdoors, they very likely would have been taken away and destroyed long, long, long ago. Instead, it's just here. As a matter of fact, inside those boats themselves, you can actually see that there is inside those boats themselves, you can actually see that there's little nests that where like birds and whatnot have like made their like homes inside of them, just because it's a spot where they can do so comfortably. So you guys walk down, and this is what you see. Both of you guys have dark vision. Well, one of you guys have dark vision. You can see this on your own. The other one, of course, just goes bing and makes light, because you can cast dancing lights. My apologies.
Dancing lights, yeah.
So you can make a little bit of light, so you'll be able to see that. Where's your dancing lights? We have that as a spells dancing lights. Yay.
I just cast it. Yeah.
Yay! There's your dancing lights. So you can see this area down here. So then, kind of like taking it in and absorbing that sight, and kind of like, where does this go? Where do these boats lead to? You have no idea right now. But what you do know is that when you cast Detect Magic, you're like looking about casting Detect Magic, you do in fact detect the presence of magic. You actually see a cute little magical aura. We'll do it right here.
Oh.
Yep.
That was not where I was expecting. Okay.
Over in this area over here.
One, that wall, something over there isn't right.
Where was it again? I wasn't on the.
I would literally move like a dancing light over to it and be like, there.
There you go. Is that more obvious?
That's a lot more obvious.
Okay, so.
And you know what? Roll me a spellcraft check. Roll me a spellcraft check. I'm not just going to give it to you this time.
I can probably guess it's illusion or transmutation.
It's illusion.
Yeah.
Jake, what had you said prior?
I don't remember. I wanted to sift it or something.
I believe there's an illusion there.
Okay. So you want to go over and sift it, or just?
Well, I'm going to stop at that and be like, what kind of illusion?
An illusion, I imagine it's hiding maybe a door? Maybe a trap? Though it doesn't seem magical other than the illusion, so I doubt it would be a trap.
How do you suggest we proceed?
Do you want to do your thing, edit, just to make sure?
Sure, we'll go over there and sift.
Okay. Cast your sift spell.
Drop myself again.
It's distracting him from the whole devil's thing right now.
Yep, don't worry.
He gets in the moment and he gets distracted.
And that's because it's a sift
Minus
penalty.
4.
Yep, correct. So you just perceive.
If Valorant's helping, it'd be 15.
Correct. You just perceive a wall there.
Oh wow, that's okay. I didn't imagine it would go through that. In that case, I'm gonna go up and try and investigate the wall. So I'm gonna.
Sure. So you go over and you literally try to investigate the wall, and you reach out and you touch the wall. Roll me a will save.
Oh. Will? Oop. Wait, what? Where's the what?
So you go over and you try to touch the wall.
Twice.
It does that sometimes just because of hiccups. So you go over and you try to touch the wall, and it's one of those things where you're like, I know there's an illusion spell here. And you put your hand against the wall and you're like, but it still feels like there's a real wall here. It feels like there is. I know there's an illusion spell, but it's not working. Maybe one can go over and try?
Yeah, one will give it a go. So you want will save?
Please.
Am I able to? I don't know if it. No, that's not a skill check, don't worry. Okay, will.
Oh, it's so close. So he goes over and he tries to do it as well. And it's just one of those things where, like, you know there's an illusion there, but both of you are just like, but it feels like there's a real wall here. I'm almost positive it is. And then it becomes this thing where watching the two of you just kind of flub through it, you can actually see the devil steps forward and says, "You've had your fun. It's time to leave."
There's an illusion on this wall. That's probably the door we need, and then we'll be out of your way. Can't take more than a minute. I don't think you'll help us, but can you give us 1 more minute to try again?
You're gonna have to.
I assume you've picked up the illusion.
You're gonna have to roll a diplomacy check again as it's stepping forward. This time, its tail starting to like rattle up and looking like it's getting sick and tired of you being in breach of the contract, even though you're technically not. You're because you haven't left to not return yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can see this thing is getting very angry. Diplomacy.
Ooh.
You say, and what it was that caught it was the thing that convinced it was like, I assume you picked up the illusion as well. Almost like you noticed too, right? But it hadn't noticed the illusion because they don't have the ability to detect magic. So it's almost one of those like, aren't you like, don't be an idiot? Like you see this too, right? And it's almost like when you say that, it looks at you, and it looks at the wall, then it looks at Valorant and says, "I'll be counting from 60," because you had still said 1 minute.
Do we pick up that he like didn't have any idea?
Sense motive, we get a big penalty because of the fact that it's a not a humanoid.
Valorant ain't bothering. Valorant's just like he hears the timer and is like, "I'm going for that thing again."
Okay, so go ahead, roll your will save. Mm-hmm. You guys can auto succeed if you spend the whole minute, but then that's kind of dangerous. Doesn't work. 1. Go ahead, roll.
If you get higher enough, use luck.
We'll see.
Oh my god, that's 1 round.
Yeah, well, we're not going to do round by round. You know what I mean? It's one of those things.
Okay.
You guys spend some amount of time trying to like figure out why this thing's fake and so on and so forth. And you guys are really, really struggling to try to figure out what is going on here. You're like, I understand that these illusion magics are powerful, but this is getting ridiculous. If this isn't real, why is it that I'm feeling like it is?
You know what? Can I pull out the... No, actually, I don't want to. I gave my bag away. Never mind.
So, you guys can try
I'm
one
assuming
more time.
yeah.
Try one more time.
Okay. If either of us gets even remotely like higher, you use a luck.
These aren't round by round, so hey. Do you want to use a luck, Val?
I'm gonna use. We have enough luck. I just want to make sure this gets it.
Sure.
What do you think?
I mean, you go ahead. It doesn't really bother me. It's all good.
That smile says otherwise.
If you fail, it just means that I'm gonna have to try, and then I might have to use it. So if you're in a good position, just use it.
Okay.
Hey, it's 20.
Hey, that's more like it.
You finally find out what it is that you can't, why it was that this was tricking you. Because illusion magics are very much that, illusion magics. It tricks your senses, so on and so forth. But it doesn't necessarily, without extremely powerful ones, doesn't necessarily make it so it's literally a physical thing in front of you. You know what I mean? Like something that's not there or something that's not there, whether or not it's actually, you can see it or perceive it or whatever, right? So you know it's an illusion, but you're touching the wall. It's like, why does it feel like a wall? It's because when you finally reach to this time, finally your mind kind of clicks. And this is like, again, I was having that be 30 seconds, and the second roll was 30 seconds. When your mind finally clicks, you can literally see, you can kind of like reach in, and finally the whole wall becomes a bit translucent for you. You can finally see through it. You finally can perceive what's on the other side. There's still a wall there. However, similar to upstairs, there's a wall there with a bit of a secret latch, a secret hatch or whatever. So the illusion of the wall was on top of the actual wall, was just kind of covering that one little spot where there's like, oh. And now that you can kind of like perceive through, you're like, I get it now. The grain's different. Everything's different. This looks similar to upstairs. I know what one did before. He reached over and click. And then when he clicked it, he was able to, the whole thing becomes nearly weightless as you're able to slide it to the side. As soon as you slide it to the side, it makes like a 10-foot deep, 10-foot wide, similar to what you see over here, little corridor. But it ends with a very similar looking double door, like you've seen so many times beforehand. You walk up to that double door as quickly as you can, knowing that literally seconds are biting you in the ankles. You walk up to that double door. You lift the latch, because it's never a lockable door. You lift the latch, and you push it open. And as you walk in... Oh, no, this one's... It's always a doorknob, isn't it? Yeah, it's always a knob. You turn the knob, you push it open, and same as you've always seen beforehand is that room that you've always walked into beforehand. And you guys go walking into that room with the devil getting annoyed and starting to follow after you. Do you leave the door open or shut it behind you?
One's the one that would be the choice, because I would go straight in.
I mean, I'm not going to shut the door.
Okay, so you leave it open. And you go in, and as soon as you walk in, as always, Valoran, you see the form before you. And it looks at you, and it looks past you. It looks at you, it looks past you, and it's like it can never perceive your friends before. It just assumed you had friends with you. But it looks past you, and it sees the presence of the devil. And it looks at you and says, "What have you done?" And with that, why don't we take our next break? And we'll come back in just about 5 minutes or so, and continue on and see what's what. So we'll see everybody in just a moment, and find out what happens.
Now, here's a key thing: is the one following us right now? Because I would have had detect magic on. Is it the one that can be got rid of by dismissal or by spell magic?
They can both be gotten rid of by dismissal.
Yeah, but he needs is the weaker strong. Yeah. So I'll actually let dice decide that for you. I'll let Jake roll. If it's a 35 or under, it's dispel. If it's a 36 or over, it's dismissal.
Okay, so D100 is it?
Yep. I'll let Jake roll.
Slash roll, is it 1D100?
Yes, sir.
Oh!
There you go. We'll be back in just about 5 minutes. Bye-bye.